Welcome back to The Love of Dogs. I'm Arthur E. Benjamin. I'm here with Farrah White, and today we have a really interesting show. Arf, 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 arf.
See, for dogs who need a little bit of help communicating, dogs and owners, look how upset you've got him.
I'm sorry, Fundy. That's Fundy, and Fundy's a sweetheart.
Absolutely. Susan Blatz is a dog behaviorist, and she helps dogs and their owners learn how to communicate, especially in situations where they really need to communicate and it can be a challenge. Welcome, Susan, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And now tell us who you have here.
This is Tundy. He's a lab
Not
mix
Tundy, but Tundy.
available for adoption with Animal Rescue of Texas. He's about 2.5 years old. He was found as a stray running down the highway, and somebody in a Toyota Tundra, 2 rescue women, pulled over, blocked him in the median, got out, put their hand out to him, and he crawled over to them and licked them in the face. So,
Aww.
Well, and that's why he's Tundy.
that's why he's Tundy, yes. Very
Well, he's
theme-oriented. So he's an awesome dog. He loves people, kids, other dogs, loves to play, very sweet. He's an asset, and so he's my foster dog. He's been my foster dog for a while now because he had heartworms, so he had to have treatment for 3 months. And
So he's heartworm clear?
he is heartworm clear, absolutely.
And he's ready for a family?
He is ready for a family of his own.
Well, he would be great with kids.
He loves everybody. He's
I know,
just the funniest.
Bandit and he had quite the play before the show.
Yes, they did. I know.
Now, what made you want to tackle animal communication?
Actually, it tackled me. I started out as a pet sitter, and I'd go to people's homes when they were out of town, a lot of regular clients. And what happened was all the jumping up dogs and the dogs that were ill-mannered, I kind of worked on them while I was pet sitting, thinking, well, I'm not having him jump on me, or I'm not having him eat the garbage while I'm watching him. And
Right.
so the owners would come back home and say, what'd you do to my dog? So we just started that way, not intentionally, but then people started recommending me. And I was doing both for a while, and then there became a point where I had to pick one. I couldn't do everything. So I find this extremely rewarding.
Now, in your opinion, are dogs that much different than people?
You know, in a way, no, and in a way, yes. The yes part is dogs really work on body language. And so they're always looking to see how's it working for them, how you're looking at them, what gets their attention. And people really work on words. So they're thinking words first, but the dog's watching what people are actually doing. So if you have a dog jumping up on you, which happens a lot of times in my clients, like, look at him, he's jumping all over me. But at the same time, they're petting him, they're laughing. It gives the dog mixed signals. So the dog, in their minds, thinking, this is great, this is working. And the owner's thinking, I told him to sit, but they're still doing this. Oh, look at you, you better get down.
Yeah.
So then everybody's, so for the dog, that's very clear. Petting, talking to them, saying their name, yeah, okay, let's do this, more of this. So some of it's mixed communication. On the other hand, dogs are a lot like 2-year-olds. They have feelings and wants and needs and pretty much no power. So they're going to try to work it out and see what works for them.
And you believe in non-confrontational
I
training?
do. Well, I work with a lot of rescue and a lot of difficult dogs. And the minute you start trying to win, either the dog can get nervous, or the dog gets, confused, or the dog thinks, yeah, you and who else is going to tell me what to do? So sometimes it's easier to take the easier path and not fight with the dog, and that could mean making a game. Like if you're doing, let's say, come, for instance, and the dog doesn't want to come, Tundy does that. If I call him Tundy, come, which, Tundy, come. But if I go, Tundy, come, he'll come over. That's easier for him because of whatever his history is before me, because he gets that that's an okay thing. Come is good. Come is non-confrontational. If I'm standing there with my hand on my hip telling him to come for good reason or no reason, it makes him nervous. And actually, with this dog, he starts backing up. He starts jumping backwards, and then he falls down, and he acts all silly, and because it's being told what to do, and he's not sure. A lot of dogs are like that, though. Come is often a real bad thing for a dog. It's come inside, I'm leaving, come get in your crate, come, what did you just do? Come, what do you have? So, for instance, that come, you want to change to not, because I said so, to this is a good choice, I'm not mad. If you leave whatever you're doing, which might be the garbage or counter surfing or the shoe that you're running around the house with, and you come to me, I'm not going to be mad at you. Just give me the shoe.
So what are some of the first steps that take place whenever a person brings their dog to you?
Well, when I'm dealing with the dog and owner, first thing I kind of assess the dog, and I let them try to tell me what's going on. And that's, again, I look at their behavior, their body language. If they are hesitant and shy, I'll know that there's something else going on. If they are over-exuberant, I'll assess that maybe the dog needs more exercise. And then I kind of talk to the owner and actually ask them to tell the dog to do some things. Because a lot of people say, well, he's great. He's great except for this, running out the front door and running away. And then I get there and he's jumping on people and he's jumping on them and I'm thinking, okay, he's not that great. Let's work on like the beginning.
That's funny. So do all dogs and their owners have hope that their issues can be resolved, or are there some things that are even too big for you to handle?
Well, yes and yes. Yes, everybody wants the dog to be good. There's often a lot of work to be done, and actually not everybody's willing.
Okay.
Sometimes I come in as the third trainer, second trainer, so they feel like, well, we've already done all this. And I'll say, well, I just got here.
Right.
Give us a chance. But they're kind of done. And that's almost fair, you know, if you have a difficult time with a dog. But I feel like almost every dog can be helped to some extent. They might not be the perfect dog.
Right.
They might always need maintenance, but you never know.
Well, it might not be the perfect people.
Well, nobody is, but it's hard to explain that to people.
Right.
And often, you know, you don't know how, if you're doing it right, it should be hard.
Right.
Because if you're having behavioral issues or unwanted behaviors, that's something that has to be dealt with. But with my method, you just kind of work the dog, work the dog, work the dog, but I don't really test the dog. So, like I had a client that had a dog that had a little bit of aggression, but it was mostly based on fear. But always lunging at people, lunging at bikes. So we did a lot of walking and the dog learning manners and learning to listen to her regardless of what's happening outside. And one time we were waiting across a busy road and traffic was coming by and some guy was walking down the sidewalk. And we're looking at her dog and both of us step in front of the dog thinking, okay, this is a little tight squeeze, but there's nowhere to go. And we're with the dog, so we're just gonna kind of block the man. So the guy kind of struts on past, and right as he gets past, he turns around, whips around, and rubs the dog on the head real fast. Holla! And we both went, ah, no! We're screaming. And the guy goes, hey, it's a guy thing. My client goes, it's a guy thing, it's a guy thing. I can't believe it. I go, we're gonna laugh at this someday. And in fact, she kept working with the dog, and that dog's awesome now. And can be around people and other dogs, and is really a great dog, but you never know until something happens how good the training's actually going.
Sure.
Well, I'd say the training's going pretty good right here.
Yes.
Tundy and Bandit are getting
dog.
along just fine, and this is one heck of a sweet dog. Yes, you.
Oh. And we've got some photos of some of your other dogs we should show. Let's see. And the names are so cute too. We've got a Buckley.
Oh, he ended up being a foster failure. I ended up keeping him. He is just the sweetest dog.
Aww.
And
And is
that
this
that dog
Cass?
I only had. That is now I can't remember who that is.
Or
Actually,
Cass or Lulu?
no, that's a boy we had. I only had for a weekend. That's Cass.
Aw.
She's a German Short-Hair Pointer.
Look
She
how
was a
pretty.
sweetie pie, but excitable. So we worked on her excitement issues.
And then there's Misty.
Mitzi.
Or is it Mitzi?
Oh yeah, that she was a feral stray, Tawana couch caught, and she just was fearful of everything. We couldn't get her out of that crate. Took the longest time. She'd only come out at night.
Aww.
Yes.
And then you've got, is that Simon?
Simon.
That looks like
oh
a
my
Simon.
God, Mr.
Simon.
Personality. I had him a while. He had some separation anxiety.
Aw.
He just was the sweetest boy. He just loved everybody.
And then you've got, that's still Simon,
That's
huh?
still Simon.
And then you've got a Winston.
Oh,
Look.
he was cute, but he was a peer. He peed on everything. So when I got him, the rescue I had him with said, okay, I don't know what you're going to do.
Right, help.
He just pees on everything.
Fix
so
it.
we just worked him and
So
worked
they
him.
all have different needs, and they all have
Yes.
different problems. And there's
Yes.
Barley and Trinka and Dottie and Tundy and Jane and Simon and Georgia and Lulu, and they go on and on. Do you also foster other dogs besides Tundy?
Only one at a time now. I used to,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of work.
Believe me, I
And
know.
I have 5 of my own, so that's pretty much what we can do.
How do dogs and cats differ in their communication?
Dogs are all about group dynamics. Where are you? Where are you going? I want to join. What's he got? Cats a little more independent, and they're thinking of themselves probably first. I love cats. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We could all learn from them. But they're kind of independent. They like to see what's going on, and then they'll assess whether they want to be part of it. Where dogs think, I'm in, where are you going? First, and then maybe think twice later. But you can use that in training. Little lure stuff. We're all going outside to go potty, and everybody goes. Wait, don't leave me back.
That's funny. Well, what do you think makes a good fit between a dog and an owner? How can you tell?
A fit between a dog and an owner that's a tough one, because people aren't always looking at the dog. They look at how cute he is, and if they had one or a friend had one,
Yeah. Right.
or how cute he is.
Or how cute he is?
But I think the match has to be about lifestyle more than anything, because that'll make your life so much easier. If you have a high energy dog, you need a yard, and you need some time to be throwing the ball for that dog, because if not, the dog is going to be looking for something to do. If you have a laid-back dog and you want to go jogging with, and that would seem obvious, but people do, because the dog was cute or whatever, and they're saying, well, he's pooping out, I'm trying to jog, and I'm like, well, you know what? He don't want to jog.
Right.
I mean, sometimes
I don't
dogs
want
just,
a dog.
and at least you can say it.
Yes.
People end up dragging their dog around behind them. Look, he won't come. I'm like, I think he hates this. Maybe we need 2 dogs in the house.
It might be because of the fur coat he's wearing all the time.
You know?
Sure.
It counts. Some dogs will tell you. I mean, there's some dogs that I took 2 dogs yesterday, 2 of my clients' dogs out for their afternoon potty, and we got 3 houses, and they both laid on the parkway. Like, no, I don't think so. And they were done. I'm like, all right, then we'll go back home. But it was nice and cool in that house. And
Yeah, it was
who
really
can blame
hot
them? You open that
yesterday.
door, and it's like, poosh.
Yeah.
So, but some dogs will just go with you because you're there, you're going.
Sure.
They're not going to be left behind. So you have to be very careful with that.
If you had to give advice to people in working with dogs, their dog, what's the most common kind of advice you give to people?
The thing that carries over to everything, whether it's the potty training of the puppy or the jumping up of the bad greeting dogs, it's always about giving attention for good behavior not the bad, because dogs will take the attention wherever they can get, and redirecting that to good choices. So again, on the jumping up, to me, I make that a sit. So instead of no, 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 no jumping and yelling and grabbing the dog and fussing, and then it all becomes about the dog. So again, why would he want to stop jumping up? You know, I say, work on the sit, and then you can praise for the sit, and then the dog knows how to get the good attention, and it becomes a real positive thing. Everybody loves a dog that greets well. I mean, it's a comfort
So
for
what do you
everybody.
do after you take the Christian Louboutin out of the dog's mouth, the shoe out of the dog's mouth? What do you do, put a toy in the dog's mouth, a bone?
Actually, you're close. I trade for a treat. Some dogs don't want to leave that shoe. So then that's a double treat. So the treat for the leave, and there are some dogs that'll take the treat, snatch up the shoe really fast. So it's kind of like Oprah used to say, you know, you throw your keys if someone's mugging you, throw the keys one way and you run the other. You give him that first treat, he's going to drop the shoe, and before he goes to get the one, you throw the treat the other way. So then you can pick up the shoe, but you don't get mad. You don't put that energy into the dog. You don't yell at him. If worse comes to worse, you put him in their crate for timeout for that. But they're going to go for the treat. I had a client come to my house once, and I had my foster dog who was eating a shoe, but on my couch, like, la, 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 la. And she said, I can't believe it, you know, and I didn't get mad. I said, oh my goodness, there's my shoe. Let's drop. And by then
There's
she was
what's left of my shoe.
willing to drop. But my client said, I can't believe you're, you know, letting that happen. And I said, if I was yelling at her, she would have been behind the couch eating my shoe, and I wouldn't have stood a chance.
Right.
This way, she just had no fear, and we just made it easy to give it up, and no big deal, and you know, you just have to make it easy for the dog.
So true. I had a friend who had a home in Arizona, and it's real warm out there, so the living room had a half wall that led to the backyard, and the dog would poop on the carpet, and he'd yell at the dog, pick the dog up, and throw him over the wall. And the dog learned to poop on the carpet and jump over the wall.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Smart dog.
Yeah. I think
And that was his, that's what he did learn it. It wasn't like,
He learned what you were teaching him.
What's next?
Yeah,
He
he
was following
learned that
the-
if he doesn't go over the wall after he
right.
poops on the carpet, he's going to be yelled at.
That's funny. Yeah, it's so important, I think, for people to pay attention to what their dogs are doing and to pay attention how they're reacting to the dog.
They do, and they need to use their happy words and the happy voice and the smile and say the dog's name, all the things. Tundy, like that.
He'll come back.
Okay, I
There's
won't
nowhere
worry.
to go over
Tundy,
there.
come.
He's fine.
Yeah. This is a dog show. They're allowed to do this here.
Here he comes, very
How sweet.
slowly. But so you use everything's happy, everything's
Sure.
good, and we're never mad. It's hard. That's the hard part.
Sure.
And not saying no. It's hard
Yeah.
not to say no. Everybody wants to say no, 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 no this, no that. But I say, you know, give them a chance to make it better. So use your come, use your sit, use your words, use your dog's name. Yes.
Well, he sure is
Well,
sweet.
Tundy's up for adoption. We can see he's loving. He's good with other
Yes.
dogs. He actually can clean faces. I proved that earlier. You have a little bit of spaghetti sauce left on your face. Tundy's your dog. So we would love to hear from people who want to
That's great. He's a great
adopt
dog.
Tundy.
He's very sweet.
He says, please adopt me. That's what he's saying.
Yes, because I'm a good one. You can find out more about what Susan does on her website, which is alldogsallday.weebly.com. And Susan, thanks for coming. on
Thank you
our
very much
show.
for having
Tundy,
me.
thanks
It's
for
been a
And
coming.
pleasure.
bringing Tundy. I mean, this is like our own source of entertainment, and he's really good.
He's
I mean, he
a-
likes to walk around and everything, but he's
He
fine.
loves, and he loves to play with other
He's
dogs.
totally
just,
sweetie pie, aren't you? Look, and he calms down.
This is all new for him, so
Oh yeah, well, you know, a lot of dogs haven't been on TV before.
it's a shock.
Can I get your
You go
paw
from
print
the-
on a check before you leave, please?
Exactly.
The road to hitting the lights.
That's funny. Well, thanks again for coming.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back.
Da 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 da. Mr. Bojingles, Mr. Bojingles.
Arthur.
I can't sing, I know.
It's Bojangles.
I am not Sammy Davis Jr.
No, you are not. You are Arthur E. Benjamin.
Well, it's nice to be back, and why are we here?
Oh, well, there's all kinds of things to talk about.
Well, I think we have something serious to talk about first.
We do.
This is a picture of one of the dogs that we've saved in the last week. His name's Bo Jingles. And Bo is a dog that was found by a gardener. He was in a situation where that leg got stuck and he couldn't free himself. And the gardener freed him and took him to a low-cost vet. That's a cancerous tumor, unfortunately, and the leg's going to have to come off. But the gardener loves this dog so much. He's heartworm positive. He's going to be a tripod, a three-legged dog, and the gardener wants him. But the gardener has no money. So we're stepping in to provide the operation for that dog and to provide for the medication for him to handle his heartworm. And we only do it because of the contributions we're able to get to American Dog Rescue. And it's 1, 2, 3, 5, as you know, a week. Even the ones in San Antonio. It's the privilege that I've been given to lead American Dog Rescue, and for the folks at American Dog Rescue to be able to contribute their time so that the money goes to the dogs. And Mr. Bojingles will have a very good life with that gardener. The gardener loves him. So we'd like to continue to do it for Lainey and for Bandit, who couldn't walk when we found him, and for all of the dogs around the country and all of the dogs that come from even Afghanistan. And the only way we can do it is through the donations that people who are watching the show and hear about American Dog Rescue make to us, so we thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything at all that you can do counts. So if you can do $1, if you can do $5, $10, $25, anything at all you can do helps. And you should know that every dollar does truly go to help these wonderful animals that can't help themselves.
And not only does the money go to that, but the money is going to go to, I've got to turn them around again. Come on, Bandit.
That's right.
Do it.
Show
America's
it,
Best Tails.
Look at that tail.
Look at that tail. Come on, wag your tail. Nah, he doesn't want to.
This is our new contest.
American Best Tails, it's our new contest. And America's Best Tails is a contest in which anybody out there, through a rescue, can enter the story of how a dog saved them, or they saved the dog, how a dog changed their life, or the life of the dog was changed through them. And the best ones that we can find, that our production crew and our producers and the folks behind the scenes select for us, we will have 3 of those people and their animal, if possible. You know, if it's an elephant, we may not be able to get it in here. But we will have 3 of those people on each week, starting in 6 weeks, I think.
Yes, I think
and each week, we will get to vote, along maybe with a guest contestant or Bandit, on who's the best in show, who's the second runner-up, who's the first runner-up, and their rescues will get $1,000, $250, or $500. I did them backwards. But come Christmas, we're going to air the top 10 winners, and then we're going to select for $5,000 the best of the best.
Which is amazing.
Best in breed.
Best in breed. So if you have a story about an animal rescue, or you have a homemade video or something you took with your phone, or even just pictures, we want you to enter our contest in hopes of getting some money to your favorite local animal rescue.
And it's good because it helps people have those heartwarming stories about animals. It helps because other animals will be saved through the donations we're able to make as prizes. And it helps because it's going to be a fun show.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to help me and Bandit.
Well, and you know, it feels good when you do something for others, especially like these dogs, these pets that really truly can't do anything for themselves.
And when you think about it, last Christmas show, Lainey, 2 new eyes.
Yeah.
First sight ever,
Wow.
a Christmas tree at Christmas time. And I got an update on Lainey just last week, and she's running around on a farm in upstate New York chasing rabbits.
Nice. How fun is that? Chasing rabbits from upstate New York. And also, I hear there's a new hotel in North Texas?
There is.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about this hotel?
Well, the hotel is part of a chain. It is, there are 2 in LA. There are 2 in the Chicago area. And they have a spa.
But it's not a hotel for people.
They have a spa, S-P-A-W, a spa.
A spa.
And it is a 5-star hotel.
It's a
and
pooch
it's not
hotel.
for people. It's
Yeah.
a pooch hotel, and it's in Richardson. It's
How
open.
funny is that?
It just opened.
Everything a dog could want.
5 stars. And so it's a place to leave your dog. And there are a lot of good, thank goodness, in the Dallas area. There are a
Look
lot
at
of,
that.
they have 5 play areas. Dogs can get playtime as much as they need to. Active dogs can be out there most of the day. Other dogs, twice a day. And they get to eat special diets if they need to. And they get to select a room that fits their personality. If they're a couch potato, they get a TV and a couch. If they like to jump all over balls, they get a bunch of balls. But it's really, it's nice to see them cropping up.
How fun. Yeah, it says custom-made hotel suites with glass doors. There are treadmills available for guests who need a little bit of exercise.
Well, I've got to see that.
And easy drop-off and pick-up for clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Lucky dogs.
Truly amazing.
Seriously. Supervised indoor playtime. And yeah, over 10,000 square feet. This is incredible.
So it's called Pooch Hotel, P-O-O-C-H. And we look forward to seeing more
Absolutely.
elegant pooches. I mean,
Day rate starting at $25 for a full day and boarding prices at $45 for a standard suite. Look at that. PoochHotel.com for more information. I may
and
have
there's
to put
another
on my doggy seat.
there's another great place like that over. It used to be called Pet Ritz. It's got another name now. I can't remember, but it's right as you drive into Love Field. So on your way out, there's another one.
Well, special thanks to dog behaviorist Susan Blatz for teaching us something about dogs today. And remember, you can always find out more about For the Love of Dogs at AmericanDogRescue.org.
And we'll see you next week.